Seong Gi-hun is a middle-aged man living a life of desperation and misfortune. He is heavily in debt to ruthless loan sharks, owing them an astronomical amount of money. His financial struggles have strained his relationships with his family, leading to a painful estrangement from his beloved daughter and ex-wife, who have moved on without him. One day, as Gi-hun rides the subway, he encounters a mysterious, well-dressed man. This man approaches him with an intriguing proposition to play a traditional Korean game called Dokji for money. Desperate for a way out of his financial troubles, Gi-hun accepts the challenge. After winning a few rounds and gaining some cash, the well-dressed man reveals an even more tempting offer, a chance to participate in a series of high-stakes games with the promise of an unimaginable prize. Gi-hun agrees to the offer, and shortly thereafter, he is sedated. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself in a large, stark dormitory with 455 other individuals. All the participants are similarly desperate and debt-ridden individuals who are identified only by the number on their green tracksuits. A group of masked guards in pink jumpsuits arrive and explain that the players are all in dire financial straits but will be given billions of won in prize money if they can win 6 games over 6 days. The games are overseen by the front man, who is masked and dressed in black. Gi-hun befriends Player 1, an elderly man suffering from a brain tumor. He also recognizes another player, Cho Sang-woo, a childhood classmate who has become an investment broker. The first game is red light, green light. As the game begins, the players are instructed to move forward when the giant robotic doll calls out green light and to freeze when it says red light. However, the seemingly innocent game takes a horrifying turn when it is revealed that anyone caught moving after red light is shot dead on the spot by hidden snipers. The brutal and sadistic nature of the games is immediately exposed, sending shockwaves of terror through the participants. As the first few contestants are mercilessly gunned down, panic spreads like wildfire among the remaining participants. They get terrified, and half of the participants attempt to flee in a desperate bid to escape the deadly arena. The scene devolves into chaos as the fleeing participants are ruthlessly cut down, turning the game into a gruesome massacre. However, amidst the bloodshed, some players manage to keep their composure and follow the rules of the game, clearing the game safely. With help from Sang-woo and Player 199, Gi-hun finishes the game alive. The surviving players include Gi-hun, whose mother needs surgery, Sang-woo, who is about to be arrested for financial fraud, Player 1, who does not wish to die in the outside world, Player 67, who wishes to rescue her parents from North Korea and get her little brother out of an orphanage, Player 199, a Pakistani migrant worker who attacked and gravely injured his boss for withholding his wage, and Player 101 named Duk-soo, a gangster on the run from gambling debts and his ex-bosses. One detective from the Seoul Police Department, Officer Jun-ho, infiltrates the games by disguising himself as a masked worker. His brother received the same invitation card and has disappeared. The second game is revealed to be Popki, a traditional Korean game involving dalgona, a brittle honeycomb candy. Each player is given a piece of dalgona with a stamped shape in the center, and they must carefully extract the shape without breaking it. The challenge is made even more intense by a strict 10-minute time limit. The shapes vary in difficulty, with some being simple circles or triangles, while others are more intricate, like stars or umbrellas. Sang-woo recognizes the game beforehand but does not warn his teammates. He keeps this crucial information to himself. When it comes time to choose, he strategically selects the easiest shape, a triangle, ensuring his own survival. Gi-hun, on the other hand, is not as fortunate. Unaware of the game's intricacies, he ends up picking the most difficult shape, an umbrella. As the game progresses, the tension mounts. Players around him struggle and many fail, their dalgona pieces shattering under the pressure. The guards, ever watchful, are quick to eliminate those who break their shapes. Desperation sets in for Gi-hun as he realizes the near impossible task before him. In a moment of ingenuity, he begins to lick the back of the honeycomb, using his saliva to slowly melt the candy around the delicate shape. This unconventional method proves effective, and against all odds, he manages to extract the umbrella shape intact, narrowly escaping elimination. Back in the dormitory, Duk-soo kills a player by accusing him of taking extra food. The guards do nothing to stop him, and the value of the prize money increases. Realizing they can freely kill other players to raise the prize money, Duk-soo and his gang start a massive riot after lights out, resulting in players attacking each other. Gi-hun's group survives and exchanges names to build trust. Player 199 is Ali Abdul, and Player 67 is Sae-byuk. Player 1, because of his brain tumor, has trouble remembering his name. Player 212, named Minu, sleeps with Duk-soo. The third game in the competition is a tug-of-war with a twist. The rules are simple yet deadly. The game is played on 2 raised platforms suspended high above the ground, and each team must pull the opposing team off their platform, sending them plummeting to their deaths below. Duck-Soo has already learned about the nature of the game from player 111, using this insider knowledge to his advantage. Duck-Soo strategically selects his team, opting only for strong and muscular men, believing that brute force will secure their victory. He rejects Minu, a resourceful but physically weaker player, leaving her to join Gi-hun's team. As the game commences, Duck-Soo's team easily dominates their first match, showcasing their raw power and coordination. The opposing team stands no chance, and one by one, they are dragged off the platform to their deaths. Gi-hun's team, on the other hand, faces an immense challenge. Their opponents are an all-male team, physically stronger and seemingly more confident. As the game commences, Player 1 suggests a strategic approach to the game. He advises the team to position themselves in such a way that they maximize their leverage and balance. Following his lead, Gi-hun's team employs a clever strategy, combining Il-nam's wisdom with Sang-woo's quick thinking. Gi-hun's team makes a coordinated move that catches their opponents off guard, ultimately leading to their victory. During this uneasy respite, player 240, Ja-young, attempts to befriend Se-byuk. Despite Ja-young's efforts to connect and share their experiences, Se-byuk remains distant, focused solely on her goal of survival and reuniting with her family. Anticipating another riot, they build a barricade and spend the night taking turns on guard, but Duck-Soo's team does not attack. Meanwhile, Jun-ho witnesses the organ harvesting racket, as the guard whose identity he stole took part in it. Player 111 turns on the racketeers when the guards are unable to tell him what the next game. Everyone involved in the racket, except Jun-ho, is eventually killed, including player 111. The front man begins a facility-wide manhunt for Jun-ho, who breaks into the front man's office. Jun-ho learns that the game has been running for over 30 years and that his elder brother, In-ho, was the winner in 2015. Foreign VIP, who had been wagering on the games remotely, arrived to watch and wager on the following rounds live. Jun-ho, posing as one of the masked servants, is propositioned by one of them. In a private room, he attacks the VIP, records his confession, and escapes the island. For the fourth game, the remaining players are instructed to pair up. They all assume they will be working together to tackle the next challenge, so they team up with their friends or trusted partners. However, once the game starts, a cruel twist is revealed. Instead of cooperating, they must compete against their chosen partners in a game of marble. Each duo is given a bag of marbles and 30 minutes to play any game they choose, with the goal of winning all of their partners' marbles to survive. Se-byuk, a North Korean defector with a steely resolve, pairs up with player 240, Ja-young. As they begin their marble game, they find themselves opening up to each other, sharing their life stories. Ja-young, who has lived a life filled with hardship and loss, recognizes that Se-byuk has more reasons to survive, including her hope of reuniting with her family. So, Ja-young sacrifices herself, allowing Se-byuk to win the game and continue in the competition. On the other hand, Sang-woo, driven by a ruthless determination to win, manipulates Ollie, a trusting and kind-hearted person, into giving up his marbles. Duck-Soo and his henchman player 278 face off in a similarly cold and calculating manner. Duck-Soo tricks his henchman and wins. Gi-hun faces the elderly player Il-nam in a game of marbles. He resorts to exploiting the old man's apparent dementia. He deceives Il-nam into giving up his marbles, believing he has outwitted his opponent. However, it is later revealed that Il-nam was aware of the deception all along but allowed Gi-hun to win, recognizing him as his ganbu, a term that signifies a trusted friend. The aftermath of the fourth game leaves Gi-hun and Se-byuk deeply traumatized by the loss of their friends and the brutal choices they were forced to make. The fifth game in the competition is a challenge to cross a two-panel wide bridge suspended high above the ground. Each step forward requires the players to make a life or death decision, as the panels are made of either tempered glass, which can support their weight, or regular glass, which will shatter under pressure. The players are ordered to cross the bridge one at a time. Those at the front of the line are forced to act as unwilling test subjects, stepping onto each panel and risking their lives with every move. The tension mounts with each step, filling the air with the sound of glass breaking and the screams of those who fall to their deaths. Duck-Soo reaches a point on the bridge where he refuses to move forward. Despite the clock ticking down, he dares the others to pass him, creating a tense standoff. Minu, who has her own scores to settle, seizes the moment for revenge. She grabs Duck-Soo and, in a final act of retribution for his betrayal, pulls him down with her to their deaths, dramatically altering the dynamics of the game. With Duck-Soo eliminated, player 17 steps forward. He reveals he is a seasoned glass worker and can use his expertise to identify which panels are tempered glass and safe to step on. His knowledge offers a glimmer of hope to the remaining players. However, his help is short-lived as the front man, who oversees the games, turns off the lights, plunging the bridge into darkness and removing player 17's crucial advantage. The players are left to rely on luck and intuition as they navigate the treacherous path. With time running out and the pressure mounting, Sang-woo resorts to a desperate measure. He pushes player 17 to his death, revealing the last trick panel and ensuring his own survival. Ultimately, only Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Se-byuk manage to complete the game. As they reach the end of the bridge, explosions shatter the remaining panels and injure the 3 players. As finalists, Gi-hun, Sang-woo, and Se-byuk are given a change of outfit to formal clothes. Se-byuk hides a severe stab wound she received from the glass bridge explosion. After eating dinner, each player is left with a steak knife. Gi-hun suggests to Se-byuk that they should ally against Sang-woo, realizing he will do anything to win. Se-byuk instead begs Gi-hun to promise that whoever wins the game will look after the other's loved ones. Gi-hun goes to kill Sang-woo when he falls asleep, but Se-byuk stops him, telling him he is not a murderer. Se-byuk's injury worsens, prompting Gi-hun to call for help. When Gi-hun is away, Sang-woo kills Se-byuk, and the guards arrive only to collect her corpse. Furious and heartbroken, Gi-hun tries to attack Sang-woo but is prevented by the guards. Meanwhile, Jun-ho makes it to another island but is quickly tracked down by the front man and the guards. To Jun-ho's shock, the front man reveals himself to be his brother, In-ho, who tries to recruit him. When he refuses, In-ho shoots Jun-ho in the shoulder, causing him to fall back over a cliff edge and into the sea. The 6th and final game is the Squid Game itself. Gi-hun faces off against Sang-woo, his childhood friend turned adversary. The game quickly devolves into a brutal, no-holds-barred fight, with both men fighting for their lives and the enormous prize at stake. Despite the ferocity of the battle, Gi-hun manages to gain the upper hand. Bloodied and exhausted, he stands over Sang-woo, ready to claim victory. However, Gi-hun's inherent humanity and sense of morality prevent him from delivering the final blow. He pleads with Sang-woo to stop the game using the 3rd clause, which allows for the termination of the competition if the majority of players agree. Gi-hun hopes to save them both from the nightmare they have endured. Sang-woo, however, is too far gone. Consumed by the weight of his failures and the betrayal he has inflicted upon his friend, he stabs himself in the neck. As Sang-woo lies dying, he asks Gi-hun to take care of his mother. With Sang-woo's death, the game is over and Gi-hun is declared the winner. Traumatized, Gi-hun is returned to Seoul, with a bank card granting him access to the prize money he has won. The victory, tainted by the loss and moral compromises, leaves Gi-hun questioning the true value of the wealth he has acquired. The events of the Squid Game have indelibly changed him, leaving scars that no amount of money can heal. Gi-hun discovers that his own mother has died during his absence. This crushing realization puts the final nail in the coffin. Gi-hun remains traumatized for 1 year. He has not touched his prize money out of guilt. One day, he receives an invitation card from his ganbu and finds Il-nam on his deathbed. Il-nam reveals he created the game to entertain bored wealthy people like himself. He chose games he played as a child and participated in Gi-hun's group out of nostalgia. As they talk, Il-nam wagers with Gi-hun on whether an unconscious man lying on a street corner will be helped before midnight. The man is saved just before the stroke of midnight, and Il-nam dies shortly after. Gi-hun retrieves Se-byuk's brother and has him looked after by Sang-woo's mother and gives them a share of the prize money. As Gi-hun travels to the airport to reconnect with his daughter in Los Angeles, he sees the same game recruiter playing Dakji with another desperate player, but manages only to get that player's invitation card. He calls the card's number before boarding his plane, demanding to know who is running the games. The front man joins the call and curtly orders him to get on the plane, but Gi-hun ends the call and returns to the terminal, intending to participate in the Squid Game once again.
Thank you all for your support. If you want to watch more content like this, like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments section, and I will see you next time. Stay curious.